Lock and load, paintballers, as the pros tackle Tampa. We boogie with a guy who's seen it all and a field in a box. It's PB2X, and it's coming at you. This is the place to play some paintball. Hey there, you Paintball 2Xtremes. I'm James Bates, coming to you from Raymond James Stadium in beautiful Tampa, Florida. But it's no NFL action here this weekend. It's all NPPL action. We've got the Super 7 shootout, and last week it was all semi-pro. So guess what? This week it's all pro all the time. Now, somewhere out there in the mix of the Super 7 is our superstar, Jen Pierce. She's got some more features on the agenda.
James, I have spent the last 2 days getting to know and hanging out with the guys from Dynasty, the hottest pro team in the sport at the moment. Fresh from a fabulous win at the World Cup last October, these guys have resumed their winning ways by picking up victories at PSP and NPPL events, and they're hungry for more. But enough about that. Let's get back to James, who knows the pros and can give us a little bit of the paintball and buzz.
The Super 7 has a super new format for its professional teams, with 6 hours of games on Saturday, narrowing the field to an Elite 8, who then battle all day Sunday until only 2 remain. It makes for a lot of paintball.
It's a very athletic sport. There are athletes competing. They train every weekend to play this game, and it's not easy. You know, it's no cakewalk.
As far as the format goes, I like it a lot. You know, I don't think it's too many games. If you can't play at this level, you should go play golf or bowl or something, you know. But I'm very pleased and very impressed with the way things are changing and what they're doing. It's very good for the sport.
And in a personnel change, one of Chris Lasoya's former infamous teammates, John Richardson, is now playing for XSV.
Those guys are still my buddies and everything. I played with them for a long time. Kind of to renew myself into wanting to play paintball again. I think I just need to change the scenery.
Give me your best pout.
How's that? Great. Is that good? Yeah. You like that pout, don't you? Now that we're covering the NPPL events, I got to get a new NPPL badge. One team that hasn't skipped a beat with the new Super 7 format, it's Dynasty. They've only lost a handful of games at events over the past few months, like Huntington Beach, Pomona, and Orlando. And whether it's PSP or NPPL, the way to spell supremacy is D-Y-N-A-S-T. Why?
They're the coast-to-coast conquerors, 2004 World Cup champions, and the hottest guns on tour so far in 05. And even though they realize that every peak has its valley, lately it has been very good to wear the black and blue.
It's awesome. It's a great feeling to be able to be on top and everything like that, and then come back after the off season when you know everybody else has been training just as hard as we have, and then still have that little extra edge and win the first 3 tournaments of the season.
One extra influence on the Dynasty reign is that the team is closely knit.
We practice a lot together, and we all live within a couple blocks from each other, so we're almost with each other every day. And I mean, just kind of knowing and instincts of what our teammates are going to do is pretty helpful.
With Dynasty's domination since last year, you'd think it'd be difficult for a new person to join the team. But the training is so intense from the moment they step off the plane that the transition is smooth and easy for any new player.
Right when you arrive, it's just like right to work. You're at the field all day, not like a lot of other teams like where you'll walk at the fields, look at your spots, you're like, all right, that's cool. Like this is like, you know every spot. You know, you strategize with like what the other team's gonna maybe do. You're the first one's here and the last one's to leave.
But even though the break-in period is intense, the new players have had to unlearn some aspects of their playing style.
It took them like an event, actually, and a couple practices to actually kind of get to where we were and know that their voice is just as important as ours, And it takes a while for everybody to kind of speak up, because I know a lot of people are a little intimidated coming onto a new team.
Even an early round loss here in Tampa only had a temporary impact on Dynasty.
After a game like that where we lose, we normally come back and yell at each other and complain and point fingers at each other, and also just go over the game plan and try to fix for next time we play that field so that won't happen again.
So how did the rest of Tampa go for Dynasty? We'll show you later in the show. 18 balls a second is my max, but hey, I'm a good girl. I play legal. Now James is going to sit down with one of our heroes for a little one-on-one action. It's a game of rapid response where it's fun to get caught in the line of fire.
Mike Bogolub, Ukrainian for Boogie Bogolub, right?
Something like that.
How long did you play?
This is my 23rd season of paintball. And I played 15 years professionally, a few years before that, and I've been reffing solidly for the last 4.
You like playing or reffing better?
The playing's more fun. The reffing is better for financial terms. You never lose. You always go home with money.
So what's the biggest cheating move you've ever seen?
The favorite one by most is just trying to slide it off. Is they get hit and they slide it off. Sometimes they know it, most of the times they do. But it's okay.
Favorite sport other than paintball?
Baseball. Baseball, it's my favorite.
Who's your team?
Chicago Cubs. Yeah, I was born there, so, you know, you're either a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan. You're born into it. You can't root for both. You have to root for one or the other. You can't swing both ways. If you swing both ways, both sides hate you.
What's in your iPod?
My iPod? Remember, I'm an old fart. I don't get into the technology these days. I'm still, you know, I probably still have 8-track cassettes somewhere.
What kind of car do you drive, Boogie?
Me? A beat-up old Mazda pickup truck. No air conditioning, and I live in Florida.
You like hanging at the beach in Fort Myers?
No, I've lived there 23 years, never go there.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's too hot, too many people, and I'm the kind of person I just like to lay back in the air conditioning when I get a chance, because most of the time I'm out there frying like a piece of bacon, so well, why add to it?
Umbrella or plastic saucer?
Neither. Those are for sissies. If you can't take it, you don't belong out there.
It's always fun to see who can shoot their mouth off while shooting from the hip, isn't it? When we come back after this short break, we'll show you who the top 8 teams were in the Tampa Super 7, and we'll see who has what it takes to be number 1. Don't miss it.
Stay on top of the paintball scene. Subscribe to Paintball 2Xtremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball 2Xtremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball 2Xtremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by Empire, innovation, dedication, domination. By Bob Long, creator of the legendary Intimidator and Defiant markers. And by Paintball 2Xtremes, covering the game.
Hey, can I get somebody to rewind the rubber band up front? Hey, welcome back to Paintball 2Xtremes and all the high-flying action here at the NPPL Super 7 in Tampa. We may have been a little bit premature on singing the praises of the dudes from Dynasty because they came tumbling back down to earth in reality with 2 losses in the prelims.
The first coming at the hands of Los Angeles Infamous, who won all 8 of their early round games with an average winning score of 97 points. San Diego Dynasty then was blown away again when the New England Hurricanes blew through town and sent the world champs back to the tent to regroup. But that would prove to be the highlight of the event for New England, as they just missed advancing to Sunday's Elite 8, trailing the Tigers by a mere 6 points. Third place in Pro Group 1 went to the Portland Naughty Dogs, whose play was consistently inconsistent. In 3 of their first 8 games, the Dogs scored 6, 9, and 0 points. But when they were on their game, the Dogs were dominant, taking 5 wins with an average score of nearly 96 points. So here's how the standings stacked up in Pro Group 1 coming into today's play. While in Pro Group 2, the dominant shooters were Sacramento Excessive, who won 7 of their 8 prelim games. Excessive proved to have a, excessive points lead over second-ranked Oakland, and the Empire was also well clear of a surprising DC Arsenal team that came home in 3rd place. The last slot in the second group went to the San Francisco Avalanche, who shrugged off a couple of early-round disasters and shot their way into Sunday's final round. This morning, the two groups were combined into a single bracket, and it was a California sweep of the Final Four. LA Infamous, San Diego Dynasty, Oakland Empire, and Sacramento Excessive. We'll have highlights of these teams later in the show.
Why is the sky blue? How many square feet are there in an acre? Is chicken of the sea chicken, or is it tuna? These are some of the questions I ask myself in a typical day. And when I want answers, I go to the encyclopedia, Google, go see a therapist. But if you want answers to your paintball questions, we're going to take you to the experts. Here's this week's puzzler.
Nick Highland asks, I've heard the term sweet spotting. What does that mean? Good question, Nick. Sweet spotting is a term that is used at the beginning of the game. If you're shooting a bunker or whatever is the key bunker on the field, that would be called sweet spotting. If we think a player is going to run to the snake off the break, then we would sweet spot it, meaning we would shoot paint about a foot back from the bunker so that we could catch the player who is running off the break into that bunker. That's sweet spotting.
So here's my riddle of the week. With over 200 teams of 7 shooting paintballs all over the place, why am I stuck cleaning up the mess in the heat? Where's Jen Pierce at?
Yeah, sure. What? Oh, hang on a second. You know, James, I am working around here. I mean, I'm making sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing and getting their job done. I'm keeping track of the score and who's winning what. You know, but I am having a good time out here in the VIP section where we've got these hammocks, the sand, free food and drinks. It's awesome. And whenever you get done doing whatever it is you're doing, you should come out here and join me. I'm not going anywhere, so you better not go anywhere either. We'll be right back with more PB2X.
If you want to stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball 2Xtremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball 2Xtremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball 2Xtremes magazine. Get in the game.
You need to put a number 2 there for green. Wow, you got some work to do, but there's been a lot of work done on my man Clay. That's some good ink right there. And there's some good ballers here at the NPPL Super 7 in Tampa. Welcome back to Paintball 2Xtremes. I'm James Bates. You know, all the ballers, ink or no ink, here at the NPPL Super 7 have one thing in common. They're the best in the world, and they need the best gear in the world. So let's take some time now to let them hit you up with the good stuff. Here's our 60-second review.
Looking for a safe and easy way to play paintball at home, away from the field, away from your local pro shop? Well, Extreme Rage now has Inflatafield with 10 pieces, easy to put up, playing paintball in your own backyard. It comes with 5 Inflatafield bunkers, 24 pegs, an electric air pump, a deluxe repair kit, and an operator's manual. The Extreme Rage Inflatafield has 7 great shapes to choose from. Some of those are the giant slab, big can, and taco. The Extreme Rage Inflatafield bunkers are built to last, so you have plenty of time to perfect your game. They're easy to clean, easy to set up, easy to tear down and put away. The Extreme Rage Inflatafield is so easy to set up, You can have it up in no time in your backyard, inviting friends over, practicing drills, and learning the techniques that you need to win every tournament. The Extreme Range Inflatafield is a great training aid where you can learn to play like the pros and is now in stores.
Well, if you thought that 60 seconds was fast, buckle your seatbelts. Here we go. Infamous on the left and Dynasty on the right. Excessive waiting on one of these teams. Dynasty's already won one. Who's going to get game two? Here we go.
Big Dynasty breakout. Oliver Lang in the snake off the break. These are probably the most two aggressive pro teams on the circuit right now. Rusty Glaze countering right into the snake. Danny Tiljak may have taken a hit on these goggles there, trying to work that thing off before the ref gets over there.
Yeah, you see him picking at his face a little bit.
Yeah. Last year at this very tournament was Infamous's first NPPL event, which they won, beating Team Dynasty in the finals.
Well, there goes an Infamous player, and you did see, just as you called it, Ryan, Tiljak's gone too. The ref finally went over there. Wow! How about these referees? They're working hard today. Oh, look at Oliver Lang creeping up the snake there.
Looks like they found one on Rusty Glaze.
They're into the red zone here in Tampa, just in the shadow of Raymond James Stadium. A lot of red and black here in Tampa for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're taking the summer off, getting ready to go in the fall, but doesn't mean there's no action around here. We're in town for the NPPL Super 7. We've got some great action between Dynasty and Infamous, and down goes another Dynasty player.
Looks like Buddy caught Yosh Rao looking over the top.
Ooh, Oliver Lang.
Big shot on Chris Lasoya from Oliver.
Wow, Oliver got him and stays in the snake.
LB trying to run across to get Oliver out of that snake. Looks like he's contesting a bit. And the referee can't find a hit. Big move by Brian Fowl trying to get Oliver out of that snake.
There's a little dip. And oh, Henthorn, there's Buddy Henthorn. He'll move on back to the box, and there you see it. The exasperated Infamous team. The look says it all. Oliver Lang will wave to the fans. So will Mr. Greenspan. Yeah, you better let Oliver Lang hang that flag. He did some hard work, and after the game, we checked in with both teams to see how they're feeling.
They were up on a lot of bodies, but we had sent Oliver to the snake off the break, which was a risky move. But we got him in there, and we're lucky we had him in at the end of the game. The other team didn't know, and that's definitely what won it for us. Snake man. Good job, Oliver.
We were moving down the field pretty well. I thought we were doing pretty well, but Oliver made the move, and actually it cost the game. Him coming up, getting me. He made a move. I didn't even see him move. You know, it goes both ways, and you know, it's either I'm going to shoot him or he's going to shoot me, and he got the best of me for sure. Great move. It cost us the game for sure. Excellent.
Man, I love this country, Jen, and I love this sport. And you know what else I love?
What do you love?
The magazine, Paintball 2Xtremes, the magazine. What do you say we check out what's in this month's issue?
The September magazine is chock full of PSP Chicago Open coverage, along with scenario games from Gettysburg and a tech article on Vantage goggles. Pick one up today.
Stay on top of the paintball scene. Subscribe to Paintball 2Xtremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball 2Xtremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball 2Xtremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by National Paintball Supply, #1 supplier to the #1 extreme sport. By Diablo, play with fire. And by Paintball 2Xtremes, covering the game.
think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I can, I really can. Now we're rolling. Hey everybody, welcome back to Paintball 2Xtremes. These things are hot. All the cool kids are getting them. But what's new in the paintball marketplace? What do you say we go check it out right now?
Good-looking stuff, huh? Killer gear is what it takes to be among the pro ranks in the NPPL Super 7. And we're down to the nitty-gritty. So let's get back to the boys in the booth to find the call of the championship game.
All right, Jen, well, anybody can look good, but who puts on the gear and plays good? These two teams sure do. On the left, Excessive breaking out, going up against DYNAST. Why, Ryan? Well, because they're pros and they're playing like it here in Tampa.
What we're looking at here is game 3. Each one of these teams has already won one game, so this is ride or die for both of these teams for the $25,000 paycheck.
Big money on the line here in the NPPL Super 7 in Tampa, and making a move up the snake is Excessive.
Thomas Taylor,
that mohawk. That looks like a pretty stiff mohawk. You gotta be careful you don't get a ball hit that. It could break it.
Yosh Rao getting shot out by Davey there. Just like we saw last week with the semi-pro teams, neither one of these teams wanted to make any dumb moves and get shot out silly.
There's Taylor doing some work for Excessive.
Excessive being a lot like Infamous. Both of these teams, again, will spend a lot of time in the red zone if they can get there.
Infamous, you remember, fell to Dynasty. Oh, very upset Excessive. They took down the Oakland Empire to get here to the finals. And one win apiece for Dynasty and Excessive. This being the championship game right here in the finals.
See here this Excessive player in the center trying to cover up the snake, keep Oliver from getting in there. Thomas trying to cover up the center of the field.
All eyes on Oliver Lang. He had a huge game in that big win over Infamous earlier, taking down Chris Lasoya and Team Infamous, and there goes an Excessive player down. So the guys in yellow taking quite a few of the paintballs from the guys wearing the blue and black. There's Lang behind the tombstone. He's trying to work his way back up to that snake where he did all of his damage in the last game, but still Excessive not letting him do it. Here he goes, making his move.
There goes Rich Telford, the anchor for the Excessive squad, trying to get out there to keep Dynasty from being able to run down one side.
Williamson moving as well. There's TT with that mohawk.
Brian Cole taking the snake from the back corner. All of the quarterfinal games, the semifinal games, and the finals games are all played on the same field. So all of these teams have played this field 6 to 8 times before they played this game. So they know it very, very well.
Is that part of the reason why it is moving a little bit slower than some of the other games we've seen?
Absolutely. They know where their biggest threats are, and they know how to stop it. These guys are the best teams in the world.
BC Brian Cole taking out Taylor. One to the face, and how about the boys in blue? Dynasty moving up. There's Tiljak. Down goes another Excessive player. One left for Excessive. He's not going to last long, and he's gone, Ryan.
And that's it. And Dynasty will take the second NPPL of the season.
A lot of guys left standing, including that man, Oliver Lang. Oliver never before has a boy wanted more. A boy and his teammates, Dynasty, and they'll take that flag back and take $25,000 back from Tampa. What do you say we go check in with Jen Pierce?
NPPL Super 7 professional champions, Dynasty, how do you keep on doing it?
I don't know, just practice, hard work, friendship, you know, all the things that make any good team. So it's fun, and that's what we keep doing.
Do you think the preliminary round at all made you have to change your game or do anything differently?
I mean, you play 2 fields the whole time, so you're constantly adjusting game plans and strategy and, you know, watching and scouting the other teams. So, you know, definitely we're trying to throw out curveballs just like in any other sport.
Cleaning up the Empire tent. It's actually kind of sad. Shoot, we've had a lot of great paintball here this week in Tampa, and the folks at NPPL really know how to put on an event. But But you don't want to miss next week's show. Promise? Because we're jumping across the paintball aisle to the PSP Tour and action from the Windy City, Chicago. Not only will we have competition coverage, but we'll also profile more of the top teams out there on the turf. So, until then, for Jen Pierce, I'm James Bates. Thanks for joining us on Paintball 2Xtremes.